Beckonage, it's in fact.
I better get in my place. Susan.
Yes. Oh, goodness.
Okay. Yes, all right.
Hello, Karen. Nice name.
Hello.
Oh.
Wait, is that your actual name? I didn't mean to offend you or anything. Bye.
How do I? I can't. Ah.
Hello,
You're
everyone. I am muted. Thank you. Hello, hello, hello. Welcome, everyone, to the news and updates. We had a little bit of technical difficulty getting started. So what else is new? If you can't, I think that if we can't have a technical problem here, it ain't worth doing. You know, how many are in favor of that? All right. So my name is Laurel, and the one with the technical problem here today, I see. And welcome to the news and updates this week.
And I'm Donna, the other host here at News and Updates. Mark, the puppet master behind this weekly AltSpace VR news show, is behind the camera bot, pulling our strings and live streaming to everyone out in the metaverse and beyond. So let's get right started with AltSpace news. The AltSpace VR developers have been busy this week.
Indeed. A new public beta build program was announced this past week, allowing those of us with courage and the love of the bleeding edge development to participate in testing new development features and functions in AltSpace VR. It's your opportunity to help the development team test for compatibility, stability, and confirm user-generated content and track and log those bugs. Bug testing and smashing. It's a favorite hobby by many, but only the brave.
Now, the beta builds and testing are only available for Steam and Oculus-driven devices, not 2D, Vive, and other VR platforms, at least at first. Check out the details in the AltSpace VR Discord announcements channel, as this is not for everyone. Consider creating a testing account, as your experience could be very different from others, especially if you host events.
Indeed. And this changes a few things in our announcements. And we need to pay much more close attention, really close attention, because going forward, we're going to be announcing two types of releases for AltSpace. We will announce the improvement and changes to the full live version of AltSpace VR, as well as the beta build version. Changes to the beta build will eventually make its way into the full version one way or another. So we'll try to be as clear as possible, identifying which version we're discussing, and we hope that AltSpace VR will do the same.
Now, with that in mind, the beta build version for August 18th removed web browsers from PC-based clients like 2D, Rift, Oculus Link, Vive, and Windows Mixed Reality. Remember, this is the beta build. The rest of us still have access to personal and web browsers for the moment. Just know that this change will be coming soon to the full version. Other changes in the beta build include the selfie camera text changing to be more specific, changes to the welcome text and template fields for event creation in the interface, and other odds and ends and bug fixes. Be aware that we are already hearing reports of people crashing and struggling to use the most recent beta update, which is why we recommend a regular account and a testing account. Use two accounts to ensure you risk that you're only risking in one account. Expect more reports like this as we go forward, giving us insights into what the development team is working on.
That's going to be exciting. I love that we get sneak previews, so to speak. Now, speaking of sneak previews, testing and development continues with the live speech captioning and translation. Have you all tried that thing yet? Have you been to the events and you've seen this in action? Oh my God, it's amazing. It is essential to help this new feature improve. We believe that this will break down language barriers, allowing us to connect and expand our community even wider. I'm so excited about it. The next test event will be the Meet the Program Owner event this Wednesday with Keegan. We hope that that there also may be announcements about the future release of this groundbreaking feature and some other goodies that are coming up here in AltSpace.
Now, if you haven't taken the AltSpace VR feedback surveys listed in the new feedback survey channel on Discord, please take the opportunity to do so. They only take a couple of minutes, and you may use them multiple times as your thoughts evolve. The team is using them to collect community feedback. Your input matters over and over again. We hear that AltSpace VR doesn't care about community, isn't responsive, and yet we see the opposite. The community asks for inclusion in platform beta testing. Some testing was provided to the community helpers and extended to the entire community. We've been demanding new browsers and improvements to web access during events, and they are working on it. We asked for years for new avatars, and the team spent a year developing new ones, even though they are without legs and no robots. Event hosts requested the ability to have a sticky mute function instead of trusting the audience to stay muted, and we have it with Mute All. The list is long on improvements and feature requests.
Yeah, and I often think about what it must be like to be the intake person for all the support tickets and feature requests. We don't know the numbers, but it is likely they receive several hundred a day, maybe more. The process of sorting out all those requests and finding commonality and deciding where to put your team's development energy next and where there are things in the queue for months and months in advance. It's a hard project management, tough job in development. So for that, I have, great respect And they are listening and they are responding. We just have to be patient and a little gentler sometimes. So look at what the team has accomplished in just the past 8 months under quarantine as well. It's pretty amazing. So I'm really proud of what they're doing.
On that note, Washington State Governor Jay Inslee has reported a clear indication in the drop of COVID-19 cases and deaths. As many of you remember, this was one of the first hotspots in the United States. If this persists a little longer, they are considering initiating their phased reduction of lockdown. Seattle and most of the west side of Washington started in early March with the lockdown, with AltSpace VR engineers, developers, and staff working from home rather than in their Microsoft offices. That's 6 months in lockdown. We are sending our good thoughts to all of AltSpace VR staff and their families for a return to some form of normalcy and health security, as well as to all of us around the world similarly impacted.
Oh, I just lost.
At the same time, the demand for virtual events didn't just flood in. The demand skyrocketed out of control with hundreds of requests every day, while some other platforms began revising their free access and charging. AltSpace VR brought in extra help from the Microsoft Events team and continued to offer the platform for free for everyone, from the individual wishing to share their songs or jokes on stage, to the nonprofit eager to host their regular meetups and meetings in VR, to the million-dollar conferences shifting online. The past 6 months has seen stunning adoption of VR by schools and businesses, and we expect it to continue. What a time to be in VR.
No kidding. Thanks, Donna. Now, isn't it amazing? It is an incredible time. So please don't forget that the news and updates celebrating our 2-year anniversary next month. 2 years of bringing you the news and updates from across AltSpace VR and beyond. We've tackled some tough topics over these past 2 years, from community upheavals, illegal activities, avatar changes, the remodel, a constant flow of improvement and new features to AltSpace VR. We've told many of your stories. We've highlighted your worlds and promoted your event. And Donna, what do we have coming up?
So Mark and the team are taking suggestions on how we can include you in our celebration. So stay tuned for news from News and Updates on how we are going to celebrate this milestone achievement. After 2 years presenting the news and updates, we've learned a lesson or two. One of the events we have planned is a behind-the-scenes look at how we work and what we do to make this weekly event a success. There will also be some other surprises that are in the works. It's going to be fun. It's been amazing 2 years bringing you the news and updates and open discussions about what is happening around here and around AltSpace VR in our community. So congrats to Mark Laurel and the entire news and updates team.
And to you, Donna, it's you when you came in here, you just kind of lifted us up. It was beautiful. So thank you. Now, before we get into exploring the world building news, remember, join the AltSpace VR Discord. This is where you will find announcements, news, and discussions on what's going on with AltSpace VR and help with the world building and events. If you are an event host, there is even a channel to request finding moderators and to get input on doing your events, your event discussions. You can even promote your events in the event promotion channel. Love that. It is our main center for communication for our entire community, so please join us there and check out our own Discord as well.
Now it's time to move to world building. Last week's news and updates showcased the fun MREs we have available to world builders here in AltSpace VR. And there's more coming. Can I just say, I just met up with a world builder a few minutes ago and he showed me a few that he's going to make public very soon. And oh my gosh, it is so much fun. This week, one of them is now out of testing and available to the entire community. It's the Interactable Spawner.
Ooh, I'm eager to find out what you learned and what you saw. And MREs are that kind of exciting. So in the World Editor, to use the Interactable Spawner, which we demonstrated just a few weeks ago, you need to edit the asset twice. So the first time, when you create and you create and you position it, and then you turn on the interactable spawner option. Then you edit it again and you set the scale for the asset item if you wish it to be bigger or smaller when picked up, or maybe it stays the same time. Now, it's really funny when you pick up a snowball and it's really tiny and all of a sudden becomes the size of a house. You can have some fun with this. And when they're picked up, the item remains in your hand for as long as you hold it. For instance, you may walk around with a drink in your hand, like at a party or something. That's fun. Once dropped or tossed, unless it's picked up, it will stay there for about 20 to 30 seconds, around 20 seconds or so, and then AltSpace VR's Magic World Editor cleans up behind itself and returns the item to its original position. Okay, come on. You want this kind of cleaner that goes around behind you and picks up anything that you drop and puts it back where it belongs, don't you? Yes.
I have one. It's my hound Megs. Now, community helpers have been testing this new world building feature for the past couple months, and we've had fun with it. We've tossed around balls and cars and buildings, frogs, and just about anything we could add through the world builder. On the slide above us, we have Diamond throwing fire, an ambulance, and a polar bear. No animals or humans were injured in the process, but our sides hurt from laughing too much. Quest users, you have got some incredible throwing arms. Now we're
when she
see
threw things, they went flying through the air. It was amazing. I can never throw that well. Sorry, Donna. It was way too much fun. All right.
We're excited to see what the community does with this, and we expect pictures and reports in our news and updates Discord showing off. Now, back to the discussion on MREs. We are eager for you to share your MREs with all of us. Make sure you request your MRE to be featured. If approved, it will be made available like the shared and crowdsourced featured kits in the World Builder under the MRE section.
Yeah, look forward to that. Now, world building is very accessible by anyone. Yes, you can build with a drag-drop world editor, even for Unity building with MREs. You can build in 2D. You can build with the Oculus Go. You can build with the Oculus Quest. You can build with every single device. It is not complicated. And we love how AltSpace VR has evolved to become such a vibrant and creative community with events and worlds. So check out the calendar for all the world building events. There are world tours and classes and workshops on building at every level. So there are no more excuses. If you're looking for classes and lessons, the computer science team in VR offers courses on Unity and programming with C#. Carnivore continues to offer his classes on advanced world building with in Unity. He's uploaded and shared the videos from his events on the World Building channel in Discord and also in the World Tour Discord at discord.me/world tours, at discord.me/world tours.
The SDK Developer Meetup meets regularly to discuss and share information on the SDK and MRE that allows a form of scripting code and functionality to be added to our worlds as we just showcased. If you want to push AltSpace VR world building to its limits, check out the SDK Developer Meetups.
Now, all of you that are waiting over by the door, come on in, find a spot. And there's plenty of seats, so thanks for coming in. Now, the world tours happen on Tuesdays with Daisy Shaw and on Wednesdays with the World Tours team. Now, we're all one team. We just have two sets of events because there's that many worlds. This month on the Wednesday World Tours, every month there's a theme. So we encourage people to build and suggest their world based on this theme, or go hunting for worlds and suggest some great tours, great worlds to add to our tour. Garden is the theme this month, and the tour is this Wednesday. Now, garden does not mean nature spaces, but worlds that make you say, I'm in a garden the moment you enter. So join their Discord at, again, discord.me/world tours, and submit your suggestions for garden worlds or build your own. Submit that, and it may be added to the tour.
We love sharing your worlds with you and others. Join our news and updates Discord. We have a channel called Share Your World in News. Just waiting for you to show off your world so we can feature them here. Now, moving on to event news. Burning Man is taking over AltSpace VR. Get Social just announced they have a world custom designed as part of the Burning Man Black Rock City Worlds. Are you participating? There are a series of Black Rock City tours by Get Social and others for advanced previews, so check out the schedule. Expect to see Burning Man events fill our calendar, even though the main event begins August 30th in Altspace VR and other platforms, both web and online, around the metaverse for 7 days until the great burning of the Burning Man celebration at the end.
Oh, that's going to be amazing. I can't wait to see how they do that in VR and here in Altspace. They are also closing their last call for submissions for artists, performers, film and video screenings, live talks, presentations, workshops, pre-recorded sessions, all kinds of things. The deadline is tomorrow at 12 p.m. GMT. There is no extensions, so get your creative submission in today to ensure a potential spot in the Black Rock City Burning Man events and activities here in Altspace.
Now, for those hosting events in Altspace VR, the new multimedia console MRE was updated. News and Updates sticks to our recommendation that the use of this MRE should still be limited to those willing to dive into code. The current use of the browser and events for slides and videos continues. This new MRE is a potential replacement and way too complicated for the typical user. So with that in mind, here are a few details on the update.
So the new multimedia console MRE now features support for looping videos or the image media, so video or images, on a continuing replay loop. It has improved control feature parameters to assign control by role, such as everyone can control it or just presenters or just mods, or only the event or world owner. And there were some other bug fixes that were added. The reason this console is still being developed is that the event hosts and the world builders are looking for greater control over media in the events and in the worlds. Controls not available in a regular web browser. So we're looking forward to this improving and becoming much more user-friendly as the development continues. For now, please use with caution.
Now, Nicole's Cruise Line is back. After a way too long absence, this popular social event is back. Held on a cruise ship, it is a great time to meet old friends and find new ones as you cruise the high seas. This long-running event used to be a fixture in our Altspace VR calendar, and we are thrilled to have it back. Thanks, Nicole. It's an hour after the news tonight, and you don't want to miss it.
Indeed. Now, there's a new event with the great hosts. I love Sky and Becky. They're taking on the paranormal. With their new paranormal event, it is an exploration into the unusual and extraordinary. And this week, they will be discussing the jinn, the fairies, alien abductions, which is actually more fascinating than you can imagine, and the ancient Ram Inn. It is a great way to explore the imagination of the real and the mythology. I just love it. So check that out later tonight.
Now, in keeping with that, Real Talk on Wednesdays and Sundays tackles interesting topics associated with hypothetical and metaphysical ideas with fake ravens. Just love the variety of event topics we have here in Altspace. Monday, Silicon Hagen's meetups are back, and they are starting with exploring the potential of learning through multimedia, especially VR, in education and beyond. What do you see in the future of immersive technology in education? Come join. This can be an interesting discussion. And We Are VR Africa brings together artists and techies, designers, developers, investors, and more on the last Thursday of the month to showcase and discuss building in VR, AR, and 360-degree video.
Yay! And SIGGRAPH has gone virtual this year, mostly consisting of online conferencing, but our friend Chuck of Health Systems Chat brings it to Altspace VR through his regular meetups. He's created a virtual meetup space in Washington, D.C., complete with monuments to cover the special interest group on computer graphics and interactive technologies. SIGGRAPH and its work and the event in general. So we invite everyone to attend that event and also take time to get your tickets for SIGGRAPH and attend and participate online as well. There is some cutting edge technology announced there every year, and this year should bring some really fascinating news and announcements. So check it out.
Now, Thursday, August 27th, is another Virtual World Society fireside chat. The speaker is filmmaker Chuck Che from Asia. He's not just a filmmaker, but director and producer of innovative VR films. He received the Best Virtual Reality Experience Award at the 75th Venice Film Festival and is an innovator in depicting the concept of transhumanism derived from the crossover between humans and technology. He will be talking about how traditional filmmaking evolved into virtual story worlds, transcending time, space, and experience into immersion. You don't want to miss this.
I'm so excited about this one. Now, next Saturday, even though it's a week away, please don't forget that the XR Creators event brings in leaders in XR technology and development. This week, the guest is Torn Farr, who's developed games from the Commodore 64 and all the way up to the future. He is now the developer of cognitive systems for Philips Manufacturing, focusing on the creative interactive chatbots in the metaverse as well as online. He's currently working with a HoloLens and breaking some new innovative ground on that. So check that out next Saturday, not long before the news and updates.
Now, looking ahead, the Global HR Summit is now a 3-day event happening September 8th through 10th. And tickets are still available for the event here in AltSpace VR. Co-produced by educators in VR, this is an opportunity to connect with leading experts in human resources working on a world where immersive technology is part of the workforce experience, and how people with our familiarity and expertise in VR can have a future in that workplace. The event is a fundraiser to raise $250,000 for the Virtual World Society, and Educators in VR has negotiated free tickets for students and educators. If you are interested, contact us after the show and we'll pass on the event discount code. So if you're a student or an educator, you should try and take advantage of this opportunity. It's such a great opportunity to see the future of work in VR and AR and help support the Virtual World Society and their amazing outreach programs.
I'm so excited about that. That's coming right up. Now, if you find an event like ours that you want to be regularly updated on, when they announce a new event, go to the website at altvr.com, click channels, and subscribe to the events that you enjoy. Make sure that you subscribe to the News and Updates channel as well, so you will be notified of our upcoming events and you will not miss a moment of what's going on right here in AltSpace VR. Now, here's our drum roll. Thank you, Mark. Now, it is the election.
It is the election season here in the United States. Sorry, I'm from Canada. There have been many events to watch a live stream of the conventions this past week and the one coming up the next week. We've also had Black Lives Matter events, Brexit past and present, and many open discussion events over the past 6+ months to support each other through the confusion of coronavirus and self-isolation. Political, social, cultural, and globally hot topics are not new to AltSpace VR, but our discussion topic today is about what's missing. What topics do you feel aren't featured enough here? What topics would you like to see? What topics are you yearning to talk about? If you have hosted one of these topics, what was your favorite experience? What lessons did you learn? That's a lot of questions. So if you've, we are opening up the question queue. So what topics do you want to see more discussed here in AltSpace VR. So, oh, I guess that, sorry. Do you see the raise hand button? Okay, so go ahead and click on the raise hand button if any of you would like to let us know what it is you think should be talked about more in AltSpace. Anybody? Okay, so let's start with an easier one. What's been your favorite addition to the conversation in the past 6 months during COVID? We've had lots of new people in AltSpace and adding the most amazing events and discussions. So what's been your favorite discussion so far that's been added? Let's start with that. Does anybody have any thoughts about what your favorite one has been? Okay, so Serenity, go ahead, you're on the air.
Yeah, there's been a few more, it's a general thing really, but there's been a few more events on music theory and music production, which is very much my thing. So I'm glad that AltSpace is going, well, AltSpace, people that come to AltSpace are now creating events. There's one for music theory, for those people who really want to get to the depths of harmony and chords and scales and jazz chords and how you can develop music. But there's also ones on music production and musicians getting together to produce music, which I think is very exciting. So those are the ones that I'm excited about at the moment, I should say, that way around.
Well, Serenity, thanks for saying that. And it's actually been a question that I've had when I'm hosting 101s, is people have been looking for exactly that. So you're not alone. And thank you so much for saying that. Laurel, just to let you know that just to warm up the conversation, we've been suggesting a couple of new ones that happened during COVID that we're excited about. So is there anybody else that would like to either comment on something they've been excited about or what is missing? There's so many discussions, but you know what? It's just the tip of the iceberg and limited to imagination, right? And we love it when people are passionate about something and actually bring it into a discussion here in AltSpace. So go ahead and what's your comment? I'm sorry, it's MR Orange, is that how you say it? I botch names all the time.
It's meant to be Mr. Orange. I never got the.
Oh! I'm sorry, I totally missed that. Well, like I do
It's
mostly
totally...
with names. I should have seen
yeah,
that.
it's
okay.
all good.
Oh, you're so kind. So yeah.
Yeah, so I guess like I love the idea of the music theory stuff as well. Like I'm a big big on that myself, like music production, all that kind of thing. Also really keen on like anything surrounding like video game development, programming, graphics, Blender, that sort of stuff. It's all quite interesting. But one thing I want to say as well is that coming from Australia, all the events seem to be in American time. So I never get to, get to see a lot of the events that are playing. So it'd be really awesome whether there'd be like some more events at, in the other hours that I could actually go to. And the last thing I want to say is that I really love whoever's doing those nightclubs. They run these nightclubs and there's these like discos and I don't know, the lights going on everywhere. They're just incredible. Like and like if people could just expand on that is a fantastic platform to just engage with other people. And yeah, anyway, that's my 2 cents. So
well, I'd say it's worth more than 2 cents, and thank you so much. That's really great. And so, just to add to the comment a little bit about the other side of time zones, right? This AltSpace is a 24/7 event space, and you're right. There's a lot more events focused on the North American time zone than there are in other time zones. We really encourage you, if you live outside of North America time zones, to consider hosting your own events. Reach out if you're looking for help doing that. There's we can help you get set up and give you tools that you might need to do that. But you're right that they're very skewed right now to North America now. I'm somebody who lives on the other time zone. I'm awake when North America is sleeping, and I know how sometimes the events are sporadic during that time, and we really encourage you to help us in the community. We're all in this together, right? To help us create more programming in different time zones. So thank you so much, Mr. Orange. That was awesome.
Yeah,
Now, is there
cool.
anybody
No
else
worries.
that wants? Is there anybody else that wants to contribute? That wants to say what they love or make a suggestion? Laurel, are you back? I'm sorry.
Yes, I
didn't
am.
hear you. Oh,
I'm
there you
back
go.
for the
Go
next
ahead.
2 seconds. We'll see how long it lasts.
Yeah, go ahead.
Well, one of the things that I think, which I hate that I missed part of the people's comments, and please, if there's a topic you want to see or some kind of information that you would like to, something that you'd like to see here in Altspace, we'd love to know about it. So hit that raise hand button in the lower right hand corner, and I host many different discussions on some really, and I work with people to do some really delicate subjects. One of the things that feels really weird, I'm really passionate about cyberbullying, and I want to make sure that people are aware of it, they're educated, they understand that there's solutions, and it's so important that we take care of each other and we take care of ourselves online, in the real world, and virtual and whatnot. And so I was very, very thrilled to find that Erica Siegel, who's Zen Panda, she is the head of the Rangers for the Burning Man. She is hosting a weekly, it's on pause right now because of Burning Man, but she hosts a weekly meetup on Wednesdays to talk about cyberbullying from different angles. And that's a really tough thing to talk about, and it's been fascinating working with an expert who actually makes it exciting to say, yeah, let's be excited about, these are the solutions. And she specializes in harm reduction training, which is a fascinating industry that I'm learning more and more about. And that's what's so great about Altspace, is that it gives you an opportunity to have exposure to topics and things that you might never consider having exposure to before. So what do you like? So hit the raise hand button. Let's hear from a few more of the people before we wind this up. Hit that raise hand button, and we'd love to hear from you. And Donna, you tackle some really tough subjects as well, sensitive subjects with your Live Love program.
Yes, we can. And every week is every event is a surprise. We meet 6 times a week, and no matter what the topic of the day may be, and we try and keep that new and fresh each day, but the conversation always takes on a mind of its own, or whatever you might say. And there's always people that we only see once or twice, but come in with cares and concerns, and they're going through things. And it's very hard to be vulnerable in front of people you don't know. It takes a lot of courage. It takes a safe space. And so one of the things, as you're hosting events, creating worlds and mixing worlds with events, creating safe spaces for conversations is really, really important. Being tolerant of people's opinion, no matter what you think yourself or not, but allowing people simply to speak without judgment. That's something that I get a lot of comments from people after they've been at an event, thanking me for a space where they weren't criticized for what they said. And I think that that's one of the things that we're all looking for, is acceptance. And so often when we talk with people, we're met with judgment. Everybody has ideas. I have ideas. When somebody comes and tells me what they're thinking, sometimes my mind's going, oh my gosh, but my outside voice needs to be understanding, right? It doesn't always come naturally. That's all I'm trying to say, is we have to work on that, right? But Altspace gives us a really unique position to have these kinds of discussions. So part of the question today that we're talking about is, which of those discussions would you like to have? What are the kinds of things you'd like to talk about where there isn't a place right now? So for instance, if you're in recovery, there's AA groups. If you're you can get things from meditation, and you can get things from even from all the music events and stuff. Like, there's lots of opportunities, but again, limited to imagination. I think I said that once already. And I know that there's topics where people would love to to delve into. And that was part of the question today is what would
Okay.
you actually like to talk about?
And I see some people on the list. Do you want to invite them?
Oh, sure. Sorry. I was leaving that to you. JC Gamer, I'm going to give you the megaphone. Go ahead.
I like I'd like to if you guys were talking about what topics you want to be featured, like that question up there.
Yes.
I'd like to see how VR works. You know, how like how it's able to track things and how it's able to get everything working, you know.
Mhm.
How like the cameras on an Oculus Quest are able to track the room like with AR. I mean infrared technology. And then that tracks where you are in the room, you know. I think that would be a pretty cool topic to talk about,
Yeah.
you know.
Educators in VR offers an Educators in VR 101. We're also going to be setting up some events that really dive into building VR labs and how does how do these devices work, and also some of the state of the art stuff that's going on with these, because VR is just one little step in a bigger world of immersive tech and spatial technology. So yeah, I'm like you. I want to take it apart and put it back together, right? Don't you?
Yeah.
Yay! So excellent. Oh, I love that. I love that. Who's up next, Donna?
Now, Maura Rose, you have the floor.
Hi. So one thing that I've kind of noticed that was missing, it's a topic that might come up organically eventually when I make friends, but parents. It'd be really nice to go somewhere where, one, I'm pretty sure that most of the people are over the age of 13 because of the topic. And two, especially talking about, you know, COVID and quarantine and homeschooling now and all of this, it would be really cool to talk to other people that clearly are tech minded in some sense to kind of get a feel for how others are navigating this.
That is such a great suggestion. And can I tell you, sometimes when you guys have passions like that, you might be the perfect person to start the conversation. One of the things that AltSpace has done is it made it easier to create, especially an impromptu conversation. So you can simply go back to the info zone. In the back right hand corner, you can see the different templates that are available, and then you can walk across the hall and it walks you exactly through how to create a quick event. And you can make it very topical. So if you're ever in AltSpace and you're wanting to talk to people, that might be one of the options, is to simply start a quick event and just start a discussion. And you might be surprised who comes in, and you might also find that they want to repeat, so they're going to ask you, when are you going to host it again? So I really encourage you when to do that. But that's a great suggestion. There is lots of parents that are again on the fence about whether their kids are going to go to school in September or not, so this is going to carry on for a while. And so I think that, I mean, getting through the last part of last year was one thing. I think the thought of doing more of it, I'm not a parent myself, but I watch friends of mine, and the thought of carrying this on is like, that is a burden that's almost too heavy to bear. And so it definitely needs the support of like-minded people, right? So that's a great suggestion. Thank you so much. Serenity, is there something else that you'd like to add?
I'm afraid I'm going back to the frivolous after your wonderful serious topics you've just been talking about. I was thinking about other things that I have enjoyed recently on AltSpace, the other question you asked, and it was I realised I've rather enjoyed the roller skating places that have popped up recently. And then it suddenly occurred to me when people talked about parents. I've been a parent, a mom, as you would call it, of a girl who's been doing roller derby for many years. She does roller derby, not me, although you can have any ages doing roller derby. So it's occurred to me suddenly, as we were sat here, But I wonder if they could sort out the roller skating into roller derby. And Donna, you can have legs. You can have legs at the roller skating. There are legs there.
Can I tell
Yeah.
you, Tommy
Yeah.
gave me had me on roller skates. So it was so awesome.
That was
Yeah.
so cool.
Yeah.
If you
I
have
love the
not
roller
checked
disco
out,
things.
oh, it's I looked up roller skate and I couldn't find the world. So it's Rink Boogie. I think isn't that what part of the name?
It's something like that. I must find it in my favorites.
Yeah. And so yeah, we need to tell the voice guy that he's got to absolutely add roller skate with the space, without the space, in the description or something so that we can look it up faster. But if you haven't done it yet, you gotta check it out. It is amazingly wonderful. I looked down, I got legs and roller skates on. It's beautiful.
Now, Mr. Orange, thanks, Serenity. Mr. Orange, I think you still have your voice. Can we hear it?
Roller boogie rink.
Roller boogie rink. All right, beautiful.
Mr. Orange, did you want to add something? I wasn't sure if I forgot to click you off the list or you wanted to add something new.
Looks like not.
No.
Okay.
Okay. So is there anybody else that wants to click the raise hand button and share something with us? You'll never know. There may be somebody in the room that wants to start exactly the same thing as you.
And I want to, based on what you mentioned just a moment ago about, our opportunity to start a conversation, I three some years ago, I was talking to some educators and said, we need to start an Educators in VR group. Little did I know that would become a business just a few months later, and my full-time job right now. You never know what's going to happen when you meet people, and that is the amazing part of Altspace, is it brings people together. And I've connected with Donna, who's one of my absolute besties, and Mark doing the show, and Serenity, and each and I will say, I look around the room, Karen 666 and I, and Karen here in the front row, we do and Diamond, who's usually here, she's not here today, we do and Daisy Shaw, we do the world tours, we make connections and we make things happen. So take advantage of these moments to make things happen. All right. So do we have time for one more, or are we ready?
We have time for two more. So quickly, JCVV, you've got the floor. Oh, sorry. Let's try that again. You've got the floor.
Okay. So I was thinking, because like a really good question, or a really good discussion would also be something like, I forgot my question. I'm sad now.
That happens. Oh my gosh,
Yeah.
that happens to all of us. So no worries about that. Okay. So Karen, go ahead and you'll close out the discussion today.
Okay, real quickly, Donna. I help Mod 101 with Diamond, and she always talks in 101 about how people can become community helpers. So there always seems to be a high interest here in Altspace with new people wanting to know how to do that. And the process, I think, leaves a lot to be desired. People get in maybe that shouldn't be in, and people that should be community helpers don't get selected. So my suggestion would be to have like a program where, and I know the Altspace people are really big, the employees right now are like super busy, but maybe down the road where it could be a program where they would take somebody under their wing, so to speak, and kind of help that person out, and so that person then would fulfill whatever they need to do to become a community helper, but it would be under like the tutelage of an Altspace employee, or maybe someone who's been here a really long time, like you or Laurel, and then that person can put a good word in for them, because that's one of the requirements. And if you don't know any of the Altspace employees and you do a ton of stuff, they're not really going to know that. So just my 2 cents on that.
Excellent point. The community helper program is designed, it's part of it is that we do mentor people. And what we found is if you do a lot of stuff in here, you do get to know the staff pretty fast. So, you need to know one of the admins. But a mentoring program would be really fun. I think that's a great idea. And we really, if you're a community helper and you are not taking somebody under your wing and guiding them, you're missing out on some of the most fun that you can have and really leadership opportunity here in AltSpace. That's part of the community helper program. So make sure that you lift up others as well. So, all right. Is that it, Donna? Oh, did you
just
remember your
remembered my
question? Okay.
Yeah.
Thanks.
So I mean, I've hosted an event before. It was actually a singing event where everybody could sing and stuff. And I thought it would be amazing if like with having a specific talent as the main event of a host, or I mean of a world, so that people who share that talent can talk with you and have their own time to shine and have their opportunities. I thought that was amazing because the first time I've ever hosted an event got 12, probably even 20 people in it, and it was a singing one.
Nice.
So I was really happy about that. So I just wanted to say it's actually kind of easy to start an event and have people join and have a easy friendships and all that stuff, and it was really nice. I actually did it
oh, that's
before I joined
wonderful.
I did it before I joined the AltSpace 101 with yeah.
Good.
with you, yeah. So I figured it all myself, and I thought it was really nice.
Yeah.
Also, how
Oh,
do you search up
excellent,
worlds? Like, because I know there's the world's beta, I have that, but I don't know how to search.
Well, we'll answer that question after the show.
Got
So,
it.
because we need to close it out. Yep.
All right.
Let's just take Jeff hasn't asked a question before, so Jeff, I'm going to give you the megaphone and you can close us out, okay?
Yeah, just a quick question. I saw the genealogy family history group up there, and I was wondering if there were going to be any future meetings.
I'm working on it. So I created the first genealogy museum here in VR as well as in AltSpace, and Educators in VR is now and the news and updates has taken over my life, and so I want to get back to doing those, and I'll be looking forward to some new ones very, very soon. So yeah, that's my project. Thanks. I'd love it, and talk to me afterwards, and maybe you can help. Get me if you're passionate about it. And that's the magic here is that, Mark, almost 2 years ago, Mark said, I want to do the news and updates and I want to do this and I want to put this together and he needed some help with it. So we started talking about it. And now look at us 2 years later. Here we are. And, same thing. Donna started loving what we were doing with Educators in VR and AltSpace VR 101 and everything else that was happening and said those words that I think are one of the most exciting words that anybody can say to another human being. How can I help? God, love those words. Love those words. And what is beautiful is when you are humble enough to say, have I got a job for you? No, that I want help. We have to be open to receiving help as well as being helpful. And that's part of the magic of AltSpace. So thanks, everyone. That was beautiful. And thank you, Donna, and everybody. So that's all for this week's news and updates. We live stream the news onto YouTube every week, doing it right now, and you can catch up with past episodes to learn more about how AltSpace VR works and what's going on in the community, our beautiful community. We also have added the AltSpace VR announcements feed to our news and updates server, so you don't even have to go there. You can just stay in ours, and you will not miss a minute of the news.
And remember, the conversation does not stop here in AltSpace VR. Discord is our home base for our community outside of AltSpace VR, and we invite you to join the News and Updates Discord to keep up with the news and activities here and around the VR industry, and to share your world's news, events, and updates with us at discord.me/news updates. Discord.me/news updates. We are here for you to keep you updated on the news in AltSpace. So please tell a friend and share our Discord and YouTube channel so others can keep up with the news in and around AltSpace.
Indeed. And if you would like to answer that question, how can you help? If you want to ask us that, we have plenty of opportunities that are available, and we would love your help. We need people to help us film, live stream the news, back us up as hosts too. We need people to supply us with pictures and news and help with writing the script and editing and moderating and all the different things that we need. It takes a lot of work to put this thing together every week. So if you would like to help, let us know on our Discord or after the show.
Also, we will hang around after the news to answer your questions and to talk about what you're doing here in Altspace VR. So stick around, as we'd love to chat with you. Thanks to all of our news update volunteers and moderators that help make this event such a success. Could not do it without you. So thank you. So with these uncertain times, please be safe wherever you are in the world.
Woo! Yay! Made it. Thanks, everyone.